Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sarah, this is Nick, and with our two little dogs we're usually travelling around Europe in our 32-year-old camper van.
Over the last few years we've visited over 25 countries, but recently we've had a lot of issues with the van, so we've come to a big decision that it's time to get a new one. But this is proving to be a lot more difficult than we first thought.
Join us in today's vlog as we meet some new friends and see their van build in action. And we discuss if we're ready to take on this huge task ourselves down here in southern Spain.
Comfortable, darling?
There we go, yes I am. Look at that view.
Good morning guys, and welcome back to Vinnie. We're back in the Vinster, we're back in the van. Unfortunately we're not away travelling.
No, but we have got a great view here, but the van hasn't actually moved. We are back in the village, guys, after our little stint away to Sevilla for a week. And obviously, if you've been following along, you see that we didn't really have much luck in the whole van hunt, the whole replacement van search up there. Unfortunately, it was disappointing. The place that we went to was like our best kind of, I think we said in the vlog actually, that was like our best chance of finding something.
Generally you're looking round and there's an odd couple of vans to look at in different places, in different cities, in different provinces, and this place in Sevilla, yeah, online it had about, you know, 10 times more vans. It had long sprinters, loads more different vans to look at. Get there, it's on the side of a motorway, really noisy, and there's a handful.
As you've seen, I think we put the prices and everything up on screen. They're a lot of money for vans which have a ridiculous amount of kilometres on, and we just didn't expect this when we were going out to look for a van. You know, our expectation was, right, we'll get something with less than 100,000 kilometres on it, because at the end of the day we plan to have this van for a long time. You know, we plan to build it ourselves, take all that time to do it, and then keep it for a long time. So it was definitely an eye-opener and a bit of a disappointing search.
Well, and the other thing is, yeah, it just seems like we'd be mugs if you go somewhere and you're buying a van from Germany that the company's gone and picked up from Germany, done a little bit of research, and you do get them cheaper in Germany with less kilometres. So a company's doing that, bringing them here and then selling them off to people in Spain for a lot more
so
money.
Obviously, if we were going to go down that road, we would cut out the middleman, go to Germany ourselves and do that process of bringing it in and exporting it ourselves. But we're keeping our options open, and we're not like, what we're definitely not going to do is just rush into buying something with a load of kilometres on for money just so we have a van and we can just, you know, get things moving. Like, we're not going to do that because it is a big expense, obviously. As well as going to see the vans that we've shown you in the vlogs at these dealers and things, we have done so much research, so much scrolling through the listings.
Yeah, basically don't think that's it, that's all we've seen, because there's like 5 different websites which you can search for vans. There's Milanuncias, Coches.com, Coches.net, Auto Occasions, Truck Scout for the whole of Europe, like quite a few different ones. We've checked them all and you end up looking at the same vans
ones over and over, the same, but there's just not much available, which we just did not expect it to be like this at all.
And we can only travel so far, really. We're not going to go to Madrid or Barcelona, so we're looking at cities close by that we can get to fairly quickly in a hire car.
The other thing is, we're really doing this at the wrong time of year, because obviously this time of year a lot of people are, and you know, sort of springtime coming into the summer, everyone's wanting to get the van, wanting to go on holidays and things like that. Doing this would be a lot better at the end of the summer, where people are done with the travelling or want to sell their vans, don't want to keep them again for another winter, that sort of thing.
That's for like the commercial vans to do a van build, or like pre-built camper vans.
You know, we're not getting too stressed about it, we're just taking it with all a pinch of salt. And so now our main priority is to get this van back on the road, because one really positive thing about all this, after looking at all the Milanencia sites and all of the listings for vans,
Vinny's worth a mint.
Still a keeper. He's definitely not going to the scrapyard anytime soon.
For the last week we had a hire car. Well, we've got the hire car for a few more days, so we've been concentrating, focusing on trying to get a new van, you know, driving around. We did have a little break for Caños de Mecca and see our friends, but we've been looking for a new van. The hire car goes back, so now we need to get Vinny
this van fixed, and that's the priority. We've ordered a couple of axle stands. You know, in the next week we can get this van fixed. We're going to look into it ourselves first. We will do it. We're staying positive that this van will get back on the road really soon.
Anyway guys, we have got the hire car for a few more days, so we are going to use it. We can't do anything on Vinny until we get the axle stands. We've got a trip planned to go to the coast to see a couple about a van build, so that should be interesting.
Ooh.
But for now we need to get back to the house. It's getting hot in here and it's only a matter of time before the police tell us to get our awning in, because there's no camping activity allowed.
Gosh, it's a warm one, isn't it, today? Again, we should not be in Andalusia this time of year. We keep saying that, don't we? Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we will be much further north. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. But right now, we're about to do something completely different in the video. It's to do with our sponsor, and it's My Heritage. Thank you so much for sponsoring our video. And this one, we've actually been waiting quite a few weeks for.
Yes, I'm very excited to find out who I really am, where I'm from, and who exactly this one is. My Heritage is the #1 family history and DNA service in Europe.
Your DNA test will give you the power to discover what makes you unique, and you can learn exactly where you came from.
It's not just a platform for DNA, you can also find out more about your extended family and build your own family tree.
A few weeks ago we received our test kits in the post, and we swabbed our cheeks and posted them off for testing. We have received the email with the results.
Who do you reckon is going to be the most exotic, eh? 52.5% English.
You've still got 50% of you.
47.5% English, Scottish and Welsh. That's it. Rubbish that. People have thought I was like Brazilian, Italian, Greek.
Well, at least you know you're a thoroughbred, darling. You're a thoroughbred.
Pure. Here we go then. Oh!
61.3 English. Something exotic, please.
Scandinavian. 38.7. Oh, smash me. That's interesting, though, isn't it?
Crazy. But that's a huge amount as well.
Yeah.
It's not like a tiny bit.
Pure English and Scandinavian.
I'm actually really surprised at that. Are you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That was pretty interesting to find out where we're truly from.
And if you're interested in finding out where you're from, then click the link in the description. My Heritage are offering a fantastic promotion right now. Use our special coupon code, you'll get free shipping.
So where are we from? Where are you from?
Where am I from? Where's she from? Well, you just found out.
You just found out where we're from.
Out on a little road trip today. We've left the doggies in the house because it's another Scorchio day today, and we've come away in the hire car. We haven't come that far. We've just driven to the coast to meet some subscribers who are doing a van build. They've done one before, and Ben does it as like a hobby. They've just bought this Fiat Ducato and they're working on that. We come here because our heads are all over the place deciding what vans and how to do it, if it's too much work for us, all that sort of jazz. So we thought we'd come to the coast to meet these guys, to have a little chat about van builds and pick up any tips we can get. It's interesting to see all the inner workings of the van and how much hard work it's going to be for Sarah.
So, yeah. So after talking to Lisa and Ben, what are you thinking, my love?
I'm thinking we're going to have a word with Ben and see if he's got any weekends free. See if he's fully booked for the next year or so.
I actually think, after speaking to these guys, I think you think the opposite, but I actually think that it's more doable after speaking to these guys. Yeah, it's very daunting. There is a lot going on, and but then you think, well, they're getting a lot of stuff from like Leroy's, and it's, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as daunting as I thought.
It's good to know that instead of using Gorilla Tape, we can use this special glue stuff, whack a load on the van, and then just glue the wood to it.
These guys
with a few extra bits.
We've learned so much actually in the last half an hour, haven't we? By just chatting to them how they're doing theirs. So
we'll introduce you, and they can tell you a little bit of how hard or easy it is and the problem. So this is Lisa and Ben.
Hello. Hi.
Who's the boss? Oh, that's the first argument I'm causing now.
Thanks for that.
So this is your latest project?
This is the latest project
So
in
number
the
two.
making.
Yeah. This one twice the size, a lot higher, and a lot more work.
Yeah.
Fun.
But it's going to be good. It's going to be great, and it's, you know, it's going to have a full-size kitchen and the bathroom with a shower. And the last one obviously had the pull-out bed. This one's got the static bed, so that's not going anywhere, which means we get the extra garage space there. And
Yeah. So your first van, it was small.
Ford Transit.
Yeah.
H1 L1, tiny thing. Can't stand up in it.
no,
You can. By the time we finish, you can get in. You can sit down, and that's about it.
it was a nice van. It was a cosy little van. It was great.
And how long did you travel in that for?
It was a month, wasn't it?
It was about a month
Yeah.
that we travelled around in it, I think.
Yeah.
We drove through Spain and then drove through France over to England, and then we went on holiday in England, and then obviously we drove back again.
Yeah. But
it was
we
great.
always say the smaller the van, the bigger the adventure. You spend more time outside, and
Definitely. Yeah,
it's more
definitely.
exciting.
And with this van as well, we've designed it so as it's comfortable when you're in it. So if you're sleeping, it'll be comfortable. If you're sitting, working, it'll be comfortable. If you're having a shower, it'll be comfortable. If you're cooking, it's comfortable. But it's not necessarily designed to be in all the time. It's going to be designed to be outside,
Yeah.
doing different things. But when you come back, you can be relaxed.
Which is what van life is all about. You want to spend as much time outside as possible anyway.
Just get some
Exactly.
chairs and a table.
You know,
and
sleep in your van, cook in your van, but be out there.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
we've got the weather for it, so why
Yeah,
not?
exactly, especially down here.
Yeah.
So these guys, if I'm right, they're going to have a big bed here,
Yeah.
which is
Which you
good
can
because you
already
get
see the
loads of
frame is
garage
up.
space.
And
They're going to
then,
have a bench seat here, which actually is going to extend the length of the van.
Yeah.
and then you're also going to have a table that will be a big table here as well coming
So
That
out.
just
pulls
got
out.
a
It'll be a
massive
pull-out
bed.
table that comes out from underneath the
Sitting
bed.
area, and then you're going to have a big shower.
Bathroom and shower there.
Bathroom and shower here, cubicle.
And then a nice big
A big
kitchen.
giant kitchen.
in the
that is an
entrance.
L
It's
shape.
like an L shape, so plenty of room for your cooking. So
At the end of the
good
kitchen, we have
layout
a
actually.
flip out.
Yeah, at the end of the kitchen there'll be a flip out table. So if you stop at the side of the road, you can just flip the table out, put your coffee on it,
Yeah.
stand there, have a drink,
Burning in
Yeah.
the sun.
burn in the sun.
Are you
So-
getting an awning as well then, are you?
Yes.
No, you
Yeah,
have to have
this
one
one we
over
have to,
here.
yeah,
it's too much.
because it's just too much.
But yeah, this one definitely will have an awning on it, without a doubt.
Still want to do a van build, darling?
Well,
Feel inspired?
I feel like a bit more confident about doing a van build after speaking to these guys, because we haven't spoken to anyone really, have we? Like faced and been in here and talked about it and seen like this stage of it, like the early stages, if you like.
Because on the drive
the
down,
important
she was like,
stages.
"No way, no
Yeah.
way! I just want."
Well, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's very
loads
daunting.
and loads of work, obviously, and there's a lot to think about, obviously. But actually seeing it and talking about it with these guys,
5 must-haves then. I think Ben just mentioned this thing is a must-have.
Yep.
What is that then?
If you don't have one of these, everything you build will be wonky. So that's from experience. So this is a
That's
perfect
definitely a
tool to
must-have,
have.
without
And
a
then
doubt.
for us, that glue, which has
yeah.
done these things,
Somewhere.
which is done. Obviously, we wouldn't do the whole van like that.
That's really good stuff.
And that's the other one. Otherwise, you're doing everything by hand, which just takes forever.
Clamps.
Clamps.
Definitely clamps,
And that
hundreds
tape.
of them.
As many as you can get, use those.
and like this one here, yeah,
What's this for?
essential.
They're just holding things in place.
Yeah.
Other than that, just general tools.
General tools, yeah, saw,
That
no
old
hand
school
sawing,
saw.
no hand screwing. It's all got to be power.
Yeah,
Oh,
what's-
and a mitre saw as well.
a mitre saw.
Yeah.
And mitre saw.
We know all about mitre saws. Mitre saws? Mitre.
Mitre, yeah.
A
The one
mitre.
with the
Big wheel thing.
It's the one that you
Yeah.
go like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So much
We
easier.
know mitre saw.
We've seen them on YouTube, know all about them.
So, weren't they lovely?
Lovely couple.
Really nice. Our new friends, not too far away actually from where we live, so we will be seeing those guys again. And we didn't film loads when we were there, but we have actually been with them for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we were chatting loads before we started filming because it's always a bit awkward just throwing a camera in someone's
Yeah.
face. But yeah, really interesting, really nice to meet them. As Sarah said, they're local, so we'll sort of probably see them again.
Definitely, I want to see how they're getting on with that build.
And they've got a
Early
lovely
stages.
dog, or 2 dogs. We didn't see the little husky or the old husky, but they've got a puppy, which
It's a year old.
yeah, really sweet. I'm glad we didn't bring Dizzy and Charlie, though. I think they would have been
Very scared of
very
him.
scared.
Yeah, because he was very bouncy, but very sweet.
Anyway, yeah, we found out a lot. It's so interesting meeting people who've done one van build already and legalized it, gone through that whole process.
Yeah, in Spain it is quite strict. I think we've talked about this before. The fact that you have to take photos of everything.
Everything.
And they said that they just took thousands of photos of their first build. They say thousands, maybe hundreds, bit extreme thousands. But yeah, they were just literally taking photos of all the bolts and screws and everything.
Yeah,
you
literally
use.
the bolts and the screws, the insulation, all the materials you use. You know, it's better to have more than less.
All
so they just...
the stages of the build,
Yeah.
basically, to go into the end project. And you want to cover yourself, so you want to take all the photos just in case they say, oh, you got a photo of this, or how did you do that bit, you know?
The electrics has to be not the cheap Chinese stuff.
Yeah, it has to have the proper CE certified certificate on it for all of your electrics. The windows, only a certain type of window, which is a proper motorhome windows, if you like. You can only use Victron, like B2B, battery charger. That's the only one they accept. Obviously, Victron's a good make, so that's fine.
I mean, most of it is, I mean, the screws used is not important, and yeah, it's a bit unreasonable, but a lot of it is for your safety kind
and
of
stuff,
thing.
yeah. And there's quite strict things about the gas installation, electrics as well. Yeah, so
We did find something interesting, actually, the bulkhead. So we weren't sure whether you could drive around in the van while you're working on it.
technically, officially not once you start the build, but I think if you leave the bulkhead in, then you can use the van, because obviously leaving the bulkhead in, then it's just like a work van, isn't it, with all the tools in the back. I think it's safety, isn't it? So if you've got a load of stuff in the back, it doesn't come flying forward.
And
Heck,
these
that's what
guys
a
seem
bulkhead's
to
for.
think, as long as you don't make any changes to the outside, so as long as you don't cut holes for windows or the fans or anything, then you're not
Use the
modifying the vehicle. It's still a work van with just loads of stuff in the back. As long as it's, yeah, that was interesting. As long as you can remove stuff within 24 hours. So it's like the land, removable structures.
Removable structures type thing, yeah. So they leave the windows and the fan cut until last job. Very good meeting those guys, and very good seeing their van at such an early stage. They were explaining to us about all the installation, the sound deadening, and you can see where they've done it, and then you can see the frames, talking about how they connect all the wood and the frames to the actual metal of the van. We've no clue about any of this because we've not studied loads of YouTube videos, and we've never met anyone who's been at that stage doing the van and had a conversation with them. So it was really, really useful, actually.
Interesting in knowing that it's possible to get the materials. We weren't sure about getting materials. A lot of the stuff they actually get from Leroy Merlin, which is like
a DIY store here.
A home DIY.
But I will say materials are very expensive. They were saying like just a piece of like plywood, 1 metre by 60 or 1 metre 20 by 60 is like €15, and obviously you need a lot of that to cover the whole side of the van. It is an expensive task doing the van build, isn't it?
It is an expensive. Lots to think about. It
is exciting to see them doing it, and they were obviously getting very excited about their own build. But for us, it's one of those, isn't it?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's going to take a long time to do.
We actually asked Ben and said, because he's got a job and he's just doing it on weekends as like a hobby to keep him out of trouble. And we said, okay, right, if you didn't have any distractions, you're doing it full time. And he bear in mind, he's quite clued up about mechanics, I think, and then I said he's sort of self-taught, but he's quite clued up, and
probably more savvy than us, put it that way.
Definitely. And he said 6 months.
He said 6 months, and I think he is kind of quite likes to get things right. He said as well, a bit of a perfectionist type thing.
He likes to know things are right behind the board. So he likes
but you know what? I think I would be a bit like that as well. It would take us a long time.
If you can't see it, it's fine. It doesn't exist to me.
So yeah, like how he just tidies the house and just shoves everything under the bed, and then
lies are coming out of her
or
mouth
behind
now.
the sofa or stuff like that, and I'm like, what? I hate that. Anyway, that was just a bit of a domestic about to start happening.
And not only is it going to take like 6 months, we know other people who thought it'd take 6 months and it took 18 months, but generally most people have like a workshop to do the building, like a lot of people we've seen on YouTube in the UK and stuff. And
they're doing it, Ben's doing it on the side of the road, sort of outside his house. It's a quiet road and it's flat, so that helps. And he's also got like a little patio
and a basement that he
and like an outside area where you walk through and you can work, and there's quite a bit of space. We don't have that.
I don't think we could. I don't know whether the Guardia or the police would say something if we got all our tools out.
We live in a little village and we actually live on a hill like this. We can't park outside our house, even in a car actually. We always leave the van or our car like 50 to 100 metres.
If you can find
100 metres away from the house and walk. So for us to go to and from, it'd be a pure mission.
We'd have to do all our work on our roof terrace and then take it to the van, which would be
just insane. So yeah, we're a bit like this after speaking to those guys, but it was really good. Really good to speak to them and find out so much that we just didn't know about and things like that. And another thing with those guys, they actually, just like when we've been looking, they really struggled to find that van, because they figured out which van they wanted for the build, which van to, you know, have everything like planned, like the bathroom and everything else. They wanted the Fiat Ducato. And yet they just couldn't find a van for ages. They were going round in circles. I think in the end, they ended up getting that van delivered from Madrid, from a company in Madrid, yeah, without even seeing it. I mean, obviously it's quite good.
I think they had a lot of information, a lot of photographs and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but they just couldn't find anything at all, like how the situation that we've been in, you know. But that's sort of what you're working with here, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time for us to get back to the village, back to the doggies, and back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing boards. Good morning, guys. How are we all doing today on this fine morning, my love?
Back in Vinnie, aren't we? Back in the Vinster.
Back in the Vinster. And, hold on a second. Ow! Oh, my funny bone. Yeah, so the axle stands have arrived. Look at these. They're cool, aren't
nice
they?
Aren't they?
We've got 2 of those and they hold like, you know, 3.5 tons or whatever together. So we thought we'd get some of these, because if we're messing about under the van, we don't just trust the jack. We want to make sure the van doesn't fall on top of us.
I'm looking forward to just getting the wheel off, having a look, because...
Yeah. See if you can actually see anything.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing a little bit later. But first we thought we have to go and clean the van. How filthy
He's been sat here for I don't know how long. He's got loads of bits of the tree on, cobwebs. And...
It's like that sappy stuff, like really sticky and horrible, isn't it? All over him. So we need to go and give him a good clean, because at the moment we probably can't get the wheel off. It's probably stuck on with tree sap. Yeah.
And it'd be nice. Well, to be honest, he's a bit worried about moving him, because this is the best shaded spot in the whole village.
Yeah.
And it has been like, 37 degrees constant day after day. So luckily we get shade most of the day until sort of late afternoon, so he's not melting too much.
Do you reckon we can just put something in the way of our spot and just put a sign saying reserved? Yeah. Reserved for the legend.
Which button is it? These aren't buttons, are they? Oh, it's the keys. Oh, the old key thing.
The old-fashioned key.
The old-fashioned keys. Oh.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we started the van up, and there you go. Boom. Straight away. No problem whatsoever.
Starting's not a problem, though. And stopping's not... Well, stopping is the problem, but not...
Stopping...
When Vinnie decides to stop. Yeah. Not when we decide to stop.
I don't think that made sense. No. But anyway, let's go take him for a wash. How's he feeling, my love?
Feels like a tank. It feels like I'm driving a lorry with a no power steering, with this massive steering wheel. The vroom. Feel like I should have a horn. Feels good though. Ready for a clean, darling? Oh my goodness me, look at that.
I think we might need quite a bit of coinage here.
Oh no, they're stuck on.
Are they?
Oh, get that off. Look at that.
go, much better. Not a really thorough job, but compared to what he was, he's gleaming. Looking good in there, darling.
What, me or Vinny?
Both of yours. Vinny suits you.
I know.
Not these new hire cars.
Because this is me, we're both, you know, a bit tatty, nothing's perfect. Closer you get, the worse we look. But from a distance, we both look...
Look at that, look at that.
Okay guys, that's Vinny all fresh and clean. Now we just need to take the wheels off, take off the calipers, clean them all up, fix the pistons, put them back in. And we're good.
And we'll be good.
Oh, and a little bit of rust. A little bit of rust. And a few other bits and bobs, and we'll be good to go. All this talk about getting a new van, mumbo jumbo.
What are we thinking?
What are we thinking?
No, on a serious note, we
On a
are going to
serious
attempt to lift the little old Vinster up in a minute. But we thought we would just do a little shout out here, guys.
Yeah, just in case it goes wrong, or we just chicken out and think, oh, we can't do this.
If, now this is a big if, there's anybody mechanical minded or think you can help us out of our caliper that's in our local area. Our local area is, well, you'll know if you know, been watching the videos and you know kind of where we are. If there's
Southern
anyone down here,
or anyone's going to Marbella on holiday, Cost del Sol, do people still go there on holiday? I think they do. Going to Fuengirola?
Well, we're not in Fuengirola or Marbella.
Well, we're not far.
They know that. We're not far. So if there's anyone down here in our area who has got a bit of a mechanical mind and just think they might be able to help us out with a caliper, please give us an email.
Yeah.
We'll put the email on screen. That would be fantastic.
If you're sat at home getting really frustrated, going, oh, I could do that, bit of elbow grease or
just
some
get a
other
flight
grease.
over. Just get a flight into Malaga and we'll arrange a lift.
It's not too hot here now, not too hot at all.
So yeah, no, seriously, if there is anyone in the local area, think we'll pay you. Obviously, we'll pay you to, you know, fix
pay you for
Vinny.
your time and your skills.
Just that
and
we're
that.
struggling a bit with the old mechanics in the local area. But anyway, we're going to have a go ourselves, and you will see all of this happening in next week's video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Sorry, this one's just been a bit of a
waffling on, weren't we? Bit chatty.
Rather than any epic scenery and things like that, but that's just where we're at in life at the moment. But yeah, thank you for watching. Follow us on...
Make sure you follow us all our socials, every single last one of them.
Feel free to support us a little bit further and join our Patreon for extra content, and we will see you guys all next Thursday, if not before.
Take care, guys. See you next week. Almost. I'm getting a bit emotional, guys. Not really, just some winds blew some bits in my eye. Yes.
Yes. What have you got to say?